Good morning and welcome to Nigeria Now, showing on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. My name is Merciful Ajinamo. Of course, we're having Mr. Adebayo Fajimi and join us today in the studio to analyze some stories. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We begin from the Punch newspaper. Of course, the banner headline there is El-Rufai, other APC governors lose out, Buni meets Buhari, returns today. That's on page 2 of the Punch. Two riders, the first APC chair, Parley's president in UK, returns from Dubai trip, cancels NEC meeting. And the second, party may die if crisis continues, Buhari wants direct DSS police to provide cover. That's on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. I do know we've spoken about this story before happening yesterday, especially talking about the Buni-led committee coming back to assume leadership position. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari is fully into this issue and he has spoken. What's your take?
Yeah, it is good for the party because if you look at the process in which the purported, I don't want to use scoop now, the purported removal of the governor of Yobe State, it is not okay at all. In fact, the INEC also did not recognize, the leadership of the Niger State Governor, Sani Bello. So it is good for the party because if you look at the process, this is how a faction started. I mean, it used to start. And if you look at what is going on in the party, this is how it's all started. So if you remove somebody from a position without due process, you know the outcome. And these people are not pushover in the party. So it's going to really affect the party if they do not really address this on time. And it's a very good thing that President Muhammadu Buhari, being the leader of the party at the moment in Nigeria, to wade in and to ensure that, the due process is followed and the needful is done. So this is a very good one for the party and, especially concerning the upcoming national convention.
All right. Of course, that's on the Punch newspaper, and that's the banner headline on page 2. From the very top of the Punch, we see banks' total asset rose by 8.25 trillion naira in 2021. That's coming from a CBN report. Of course, that's on page 25. Talking about blackout, federal government blames gas shortage vandalism. OK's 40 billion naira for discos. That's on page 22. From the very bottom, that's underneath the picture of the day. Most port scanners are obsolete, says Customs CG. That's on page 22 as well of the Punch newspaper. And we move over quickly to the Nation newspaper. Of course, the banner headline there is Buhari to APC governors. Buni remains party chair. President insists on March 26 convention date. Yobe governor back, cancels NEC meeting. That's on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Continues on page 5 of the Nation. From the very top, PDP NEC fails to OK zoning. That's on page 5. The writer says pay 40 million naira for farm. And besides that, we see Yoruba Nation agitators filed suit to stop Ekiti Osun polls. That's on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. What do you think is the objective of Yoruba Nation agitators, the collective aim for filing suit to stop Ekiti and Osun polls?
It is just a nightmare, and I don't see this as a very fruitful adventure. We all know what played out in the last couple of months and what happened to one of the leading, forces, in that particular group. So because what these people are trying to do is to disenfranchise people to ensure that, what is being written in the constitution does not come to play. And we have not separated yet. So it is not a cause they can win. And I don't really see this, coming to fruitfulness because in fact, I don't even see it as a best approach. There are a lot of approaches, or there are a lot of ways we can engage in, we can indulge in to ensure that, we put our leaders, we hold them to an account and to ensure that they do what we want them to do. But, trying to file a suit to ensure that, election does not hold, it is not a very good way to go. And I don't see this coming to reality.
Okay, of course, that's on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. Besides that, on page 2, Melami says we are seeking options on Electoral Act. And of course, just underneath the pictures of the day there, we see senators, reps pledge support for Tinubu. We have a couple of statements from Tinubu, Senator Lawan, and Rep. Doguwa. That's on the front page of the Nation newspaper. And the last one there says, resign now, El-Rufai tells ambitions appointees. That's on page 2. Soludo takes office in Anambra. Of course, that's on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. On the business day, the banner headline there is, petrol imports doubled to 3.96 trillion naira in 1 year. That's on the front page. That continues on page 30. We see statistics that shows incentive for smuggling petrol price gulf between Nigeria and neighbors. Of course, that's on the front page of the Business Day newspaper. We move over to the Daily Trust, and the banner headline there is, businesses struggle for survival as diesel price soars. And we have a couple of riders. Cost of production unbearable coming from manufacturers. Supply will adjust in few weeks. And that's coming from all marketers. And then job losses loom. Job losses loom. And that's, of course, on page 5 of the Daily Trust newspaper. This, I think, I cannot remember the last time this issue of fuel, of scarcity or fuel issues, talking about diesel price hike and everything, last for this long. I remember since January we'll be speaking about this issue, and now we're seeing the statistics that businesses are struggling to survive as the diesel price is soaring. How do you react to this?
Well, one, there is need for our leaders to know that economy does not thrive on infrastructure alone. It also does on industrialization. And there is no way we can achieve this if there is no constant power. And for some weeks now, we all can see what has been happening nationwide. So no part of the country is experiencing or can really say we are enjoying constant power. So in fact, in my own area now, I'm paying for darkness. So where I am now, I have seen light in this month, just I think once. And these people have brought a bill, and they say we must pay. And of course, we have no choice. Now, if we do not have power, how do manufacturers work? Business will fail. It will be grounded. In fact, a lot of people will be retrenched. And when that happens, you know the consequence. So it is going to really affect our economy in a very bad way, and if care is not taken, so you all know the consequence. So our leaders need to rise up and do the needful to help us, that they do whatever they want to do, because just telling us that they want to help, they have our love at heart and all of that is not enough. We want to see them taking decisive steps to ensure that they alleviate poverty, that all Nigerians are wallowing in. So this should come to an end, please.
I totally do agree with you on that one. From the very top of the Daily Trust newspaper, we see 2023 presidency, APC reps endorse Tinubu, senators wish him well. That's on page 10. On page 26, fuel crisis, Buhari apologizes to Nigerians, others clamp down on saboteurs. That's coming on page 26 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And of course, we see pictures of the day. There are people packing rubies after demolition in Utako village, just in Abuja right here. You can grab yourself a copy of Daily Trust and read on what's happening. On page 11, beg your pardon, 2023, PDP begins sale of forms as meetings on zoning deadlocked. And then how Lagos Bishop drugged defiled daughter, that's on page 16. Electoral Act, we may go to court, that's the federal government saying. And of course, APC cancels next meeting as Buhari backs Buni committee. Yobe governor meets president in London. We move over to the Nigerian News Direct paper. The banner headline there is Buni's reinstatement. Buhari writes progressive governors want against divisive conduct. A couple of others are there on the front page. And then we see pattern braces for OTC 2022. Invites exhibitors, sponsors. On the Blueprint newspaper, the banner headline there is APC leadership crisis. Buhari wills the big stake, orders governors to leave Buni alone. 4 riders. The first wants party against disunity. INEC sanction directs Buni's committee to proceed with March 26 convention. APC chair returns, party cancels next meeting. Yari defies zoning, picks chairmanship nomination form. And then just underneath that picture of the day, we see Senate passes bill to amend Money Laundering Act. That's on page 7 of the Blueprint newspaper. I know this bill is something Nigerians have really called for, the bill to amend Money Laundering Act, and we've seen a couple of news of people, who are alleged to have laundered money in the country. Do you think amending bills is enough for Nigerians?
That is not enough. We want to see whatever has been amended, coming to reality, being put into action. Whatever you have in act or constitution is just like a document that guides, a particular nation in how they should live their life. But even though what we have in Nigeria now, we can see that we are just out of the document that's supposed to guide our lives. So there, you can see impunity everywhere. So if you are in political power, you can do whatever you like. And that is not supposed to be. So this is not enough. If they do it, we want to see what is in that act being put into action. And it is only that way we can, make a reasonable progress.
Totally, I do agree with you on that one. That was on page 7 of the Blueprint newspaper. And just make sure that you grab yourself a copy of any of these newspapers that we've read out this morning. And if you cannot do so, just go online and get the e-copy. Or better still, go to www.tostvnetwork.com for updates on happenings in Nigeria and across Africa. Thank you, Mr. Adibai, for joining us today.
It's my pleasure.
And thank you, viewers, for staying tuned to Nigeria Now. Don't forget, we come your way every Mondays to Fridays. Till I come your way again tomorrow, I'm Merciful Ajimo. Stay safe.